Hey there, welcome over here to my kitchen. I'm going to be showing you a pretty big breakfast meal prep today. I absolutely love meal prepping, especially for breakfast, just because in the mornings I am so tired and I don't feel like making a big breakfast for my family. So this is perfect. We could just take something out of the fridge and freezer, put it in the microwave, and then our breakfast is served. Anyways, I hope you guys are all doing well and I hope you enjoy these recipes. All of these recipes are family favorites for sure, but let's get to cooking. We're gonna start out by making this baked blueberry oatmeal, and oh my, this recipe is so good. I think you'd love it. So to begin with my dry ingredients, in this bowl I added 2 cups of old-fashioned oats along with 1 teaspoon of some baking powder and a teaspoon of cinnamon. You're also going to want to add a very small amount of some salt, and you're just going to stir these dry ingredients together. To my 9x13 baking dish that I sprayed with plenty of nonstick spray, I added 1 cup of fresh blueberries. You could use any type of fruit you like, though my family just really likes blueberries, so that's why I did the blueberries. And then I added the oat mixture right on top of that, set it aside, and now we're going to work on all of the liquid ingredients. So to this medium-sized bowl, I added 2 cups of regular milk. If you prefer almond milk, you could use almond milk as a substitute, and that will work well. And then I added a tablespoon of coconut oil, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, and 1/4 cup of maple syrup. You're just going to mix these liquid ingredients together. This baked oatmeal really couldn't get any easier, so now I'm just going to be pouring the liquid ingredients right on top of the oats, and then I'm going to top this with an additional cup of fresh blueberries. Again, you could top it with whatever type of fruit you like or any type of nuts. This is going to bake on 375 degrees for about 35 minutes, and here is the finished product. We like to top ours with some maple syrup and then pour a little bit of milk in a bowl. I don't know, that's just what my family likes to do. We like to eat it like that, but this is so good. I just store it in a Ziploc bag like this, and I either put it in the fridge or the freezer depending on how quick we will eat it, and my daughter thinks these are cookies, so that's a win-win for me. Now we're making some egg sandwiches, and I want to show you this really quick way I have found to make them. Of course, this is just from personal experiences. This is just my favorite way to make them. But into this large bowl, I just added 12 eggs, and I'm going to season them with plenty of some salt and pepper. You could add any other type of seasoning you like with your eggs, but we like to keep it fairly simple. And then I'm just adding about 2 tablespoons of milk, and I'm going to whisk these together. I'm using my electric mixer just because it cuts down on time. To my 9x13 baking dish, I'm going to spray it with plenty of nonstick spray to ensure that the eggs just simply won't stick. I'm going to pour the egg mixture right in, and this is going to bake in a preheated oven to 325 degrees for about 18 to 20 minutes. And here is the finished product. I have the eggs completely cool at this point. You want to make sure everything is cool before you put it in bags or before you assemble anything for breakfast meal prepping. It's just going to work out better like that in the end. I just have some English muffins. I added a slice of Canadian bacon and a cheese slice and then some of that egg to each of them, and I'm going to wrap them in some cling wrap to stick in the fridge. And here's the Canadian bacon that I used. I just fried it up on the stove for a couple minutes prior just because we like the flavor better like that. That's just personal preference again, but here they are all completed. We love these breakfast sandwiches. Now we're going to go right on ahead and make these egg muffins. These are really simple to make. Lower carb if you're trying to do lower carb these days. You just have to switch out a few of the ingredients. But anyways, to begin, in my Dutch oven, I added about 1/4 pound of sausage along with 1/4 cup of onion. It's just white onion, and I'm going to cook these together. Once they are through cooking, I'm going to remove them to a separate plate. Over to my 12 muffin pan, I'm going to spray it with some more avocado oil nonstick spray. I got this avocado oil at Costco and I'm really loving it so far, just to let you know. But now I'm going to add some hash browns to the bottom of the pan. This is the part where you could add sauteed vegetables instead of the hash browns to make it a little bit lower carb, but these hash browns were delicious in it. So now we're going to finish the egg part of this. I'm going to add about 3 eggs to this bowl. Now that I am through whisking our eggs, I just added 1/4 cup of some sharp cheddar cheese along with the sausage and onions. I'm going to season this with plenty of salt and pepper. Again, use some cayenne to make it spicy or other seasonings of your choice, but I like to stick with the classic salt and pepper with eggs. But now that I am finished whisking that up, I thought it needed an additional egg, so I added 1 more egg, which was a total of 4 eggs total. And then I added 3 tablespoons of milk and I whisked this all together. Just try to pour the mixture as even as you possibly can in your muffin pan. Of course, it won't be perfect. This is going to bake in a preheated oven to 350 degrees for about 20 minutes. Here they are out of the oven. I just let them cool completely before I stuck them on the plate. But these are so delicious. They have a ton of great flavor and they're packed full of protein. So if you are super busy in the morning, you could just pop a couple of these in the microwave and you will have energy. Now we have to make some breakfast burritos. Breakfast burritos have to be one of my husband's favorite foods. He talks about them all the time. It's kind of funny. But we're going to bake our bacon in the oven. I love baking it in the oven. It's just less of a mess, and then I could bake a bunch of it at one time, and then it is just way quicker for me to do. So on my sheet pan, I lined it with aluminum foil, and then I put my cooking rack right on top. If you don't have like a cooking rack like that, you could do without it and just put the bacon on the pan. But anyways, after I put the bacon on the pan, this is going to bake in a preheated oven to 400 degrees for about 18 to 22 minutes. And then here is the gorgeous finished product. It cooks nice and evenly every single time. You can't have a breakfast burrito without scrambled eggs, so now I'm going to show you my favorite way of making scrambled eggs in the oven. This is perfect for a large group or gathering, or if you just want to make a bunch of them. So into this bowl I have 12 eggs. I added about 3 tablespoons of milk and a little bit of some salt and pepper. I'm just going to whisk these eggs up. To my Pyrex baking dish, of course, I'm going to spray it with a lot of some nonstick spray because we will be scrambling these eggs while they're baking in the oven. I just added our eggs and I'm going to bake this on 325 degrees for a total of about 25 minutes. But every 3 to 7 minutes, I pulled them out of the oven and with a spatula, I kind of mixed the eggs like this, and then they eventually turned into scrambled eggs. Since I was doing such a large amount of hash browns, I decided to do them in the air fryer just because I did not want to stand over the stove and babysit them while they were cooking. So to my air fryer, I just sprayed it with nonstick spray, added plenty of hash browns, salt and pepper, and then some more nonstick olive oil spray on top. And then I just put these in my air fryer to bake. Assembling a breakfast burrito is very simple, but now that our eggs are through baking in the oven and everything's finished, completed, and completely cooled, I just went ahead and assembled them. Typically, we like to add green chili and red chili sauce to our breakfast burritos, but I just didn't have any of that on hand, so I just assembled our burritos like this. Here are the breakfast burritos. They are a perfect handheld breakfast if you have to drive a ways in the morning or anything of that nature. Now we're making some super simple waffles. This is a really yummy recipe. You could substitute this 1 cup of all-purpose flour for wheat flour if that's what you prefer. After that cup of flour, I added in 2 teaspoons of baking powder along with a tablespoon of sugar and a little sprinkle of some salt. I'm going to whisk these dry ingredients together. For the remainder of the ingredients that I'm adding to this bowl, it's just 1 cup of milk along with an egg and 2 tablespoons of some melted butter. If you don't want to add butter, you could use oil as a substitute. I'm just going to whisk this together. Now for the last thing you're going to do, you're just going to incorporate the wet ingredients in with the dry ingredients, mix it together, and then you are ready to start making your waffles. The waffle maker that I'm going to be using, it's just this Dash waffle maker. Of course, use any type of waffle maker you have on hand. I just added a few tablespoons of that batter, let these cook up. Once they work through cooking, I just set them aside and let them completely cool. Here is the finished product. These miniature waffles are really super good. This recipe is also a really simple one to throw together. And if you have kids that love waffles for breakfast, this is a really good idea to meal prep them ahead of time so you have them ready on busy mornings. And that is a wrap of this video today. I really hope you enjoyed it and found a recipe that you might be able to make yourself. Anyways, on Friday this week, I'm going to be posting a new dump and go crock pot recipes video. So make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss it. And I will see you there. Bye for now.